Alrighty, we are in the second part of our videos on the first notes of Unit 5. Last time we talked about side congruence, and this time we're talking about side congruence. Nothing too difficult, nothing a whole lot has changed from last time. We're just going to have to consider angles and some angle properties while we do our proofs and congruency statements. This will be a breeze. So, let us talk about side, abbreviated SAS congruence. And here's basically what it says. If two sides and the included angle, I want to take a quick aside saying included here means angle between two sides. So if two sides and the angle between them in triangle 1 match triangle 2, then 1 and 2 are congruent. Fancy way of saying, if two sides and the angle between them are congruent between two triangles, the triangles are congruent. A picture might make it even easier to see. So, I'm going to say these base angles are the same length, and I'm going to say that these left sides are the same length. The included angle is the angle between these two sides, here and here. These two triangles would be congruent due to side angle side, side angle side, side angle side. We previously learned side side side, but this time again is side angle side, side angle side. You notice that rhythm that I'm going through, I'm singing side angle side. If you can sing that song for a pair of triangles, then they're congruent with side angle side. Alright, let's flip over and take a look. This example E, F, and G sort of lets us explore what side angle side actually looks like. I'll actually start with question G. These two triangles are actually side angle side, because I can go side angle side, side angle side. Side angle side, side angle side. They line up on side angle sides, which means they're congruent. Looking at F, I have two sides and an angle here, but the problem is when I sing my little song, when I go side side angle, I can't go over blank space. I have to follow the order of the sides and angles. So this isn't side angle side. It's side side angle, side side angle. I can't skip blank sides. So side side angle, side side angle. That is not one of our rules, so we can't include it. It is not side angle side. Lastly, E, we have angle side angle, angle side angle. That is not side angle side. It's the opposite. So, now that we've established what side angle side is, let's use it to prove some triangles congruent. Given that IL is congruent to ET, LT to TR, and that angle L here is congruent to angle ETR, are they congruent? The answer is yes, because of side angle side, side angle side. Side angle side, side angle side. These are. Because of side angle side congruence. In example I, we're told that AB is congruent to ED, BC to CD, and then because C here is the focal point between these two angles, we know that these are vertical angles in the same measurement. These are vertical angles here. However, that doesn't really matter because this is not side angle side. I go side side angle, side side angle. So not side angle side. Okay, moving right along, we're going to look at our first proof in J. So what we're going to do is take our given information to figure out what congruency we can use from the picture. Once we've figured out the congruency, we're going to make statements to prove it. After we've proven it, we're going to give our reasons. So first, do picture. 2, make statements. 3, we're going to give reasons. So let's look at the picture first. We're told it's given that V is the midpoint of WZ and XY. So this here is our focal point. It's like our midpoint for everything. So V is the midpoint of WZ and XY. That's got to mean that WV is congruent to VZ, and XY congruent to XV to VY. We also know that the two sides of angle V are congruent to each other because they're vertical angles. Based on all that information, we know these two triangles are congruent based on side angle side. We have side angle side, side angle side. Right? Now that we've done our picture, we know that we have side angle side congruence. Now that that's figured out, we're actually going to go ahead and make our claim that these two triangles are congruent. We're going to go all the way to the bottom and start with our claim. Triangle WXV is congruent to triangle ZYV. The reason why is side angle side congruence. Awesome. So we know what we're building up to. We need to prove that one side is congruent, one angle is congruent, and we need another congruent side. Two sides, one angle. Okay, well, I'm going to start with one of my sides. I know that WV is congruent to VZ. Okay, WV to VZ, that's one of my sides. I've already knocked one out. I need to state one more angle and one more side. Well, I know that I'm going to do my angle next. I know that WVX is congruent to YVZ. WVX, angle WVX is congruent to angle YVZ. Okay, now I have one side, one angle. All I need is one more side. And looking at my statement, I know I've already taken care of W and Z, and my V angles. Lastly, I need my XV, VY. XV is congruent to VY. Now, what I've done, I've taken all three of my congruencies, the two sides and then the pair of angles, and restated them as statements. Now that I've taken care of both of my sides and the middle angle, all I have to do now is give reasons, starting with the given one. So V as the midpoint was given to me by the question. That's what I'm starting with as my statements, and the reason why is because it was given. I don't need to explain where I got it from. It was told to me by the problem. WV and VZ, on the other hand, we do have to give a proof. We know that these are congruent because of the definition of a midpoint. I know that these two angles are congruent because they're vertical angles. Lastly, I know these last two sides are congruent because they're also based on the definition of a midpoint. And I'm done. To go through the steps again, I used the picture to figure out what my congruency statement was. It was side, angle, side. Then I needed to prove that they were congruent by accounting for two sides and an angle between them. After I made my statements to prove the triangles congruent, I had to give reasons based on what I knew about them. So, picture, statements to prove, give reasons. Okay, I'm going to do one more example, and then I'm going to leave the last two on the back for you to try. So, looking at question K, we're going to start with our picture. We're told that AB is congruent to BC, and that BD is the bisector of ABC. Now, since this is a bisector, I know that the top angle is going to be the same as the bottom angle, that the two B angles are congruent. Now, I have one side, one angle. I need one more side. I know that to figure this out, I need to think of my triangles as, the top one is, we're going to call it triangle 1. The bottom is triangle 2. What side does triangles 1 and 2 share? That's going to be DB. Both triangles have DB, and as we know, DB has to be congruent with itself. So, I can say side, angle, side, side, angle, side. Okay, so I know that this is side, angle, side congruence. And based on that congruence, I'm going to go ahead and write my congruency statement. Triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD. The reason why? Side, angle, side congruence. Now I already have one of my sides given. That means I need to state one more angle and one more side. Well, I know that DB is congruent to DB. And I know that ABD, angle ABD, is congruent to CBD. So right there, I've taken care of both of my sides and the angle between them. Side, angle, side, side, angle, side. Okay, the last thing I need is my reasons. The first two were given. I was told that AB is congruent to BC. That's given. And I was told it was a bisector. What I wasn't told was that DB is congruent to itself. This is the reflexive property. Finally, I know that these two angles are the same because of the definition of angle bisector. So, I used my picture to figure out what rule I'm using. I proved that one side, two sides, and one angles were congruent, and I gave reasons. That's all there is to it. There are two more practices on this page. I'd like you to try both and ask me if you have any questions. As always, thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.